And we're just about ready for the start of the second half here in the opening match of the World Rugby Pacific Challenge. Canada A currently leading Junior Japan by 31 points to 3, and that is what is up for grabs right in the middle there. The World Rugby Pacific Challenge Cup. Of course, defending champions are the Argentinian Panthers, who will take on the Fiji Warriors later on this afternoon. And of course, the match right after this will see Samoa A taking on Tonga A. So that should be an interesting Pacific Challenge up next. But just, your thoughts, Alifredi Modilutu, on, how the first half has panned out.
It's quite, everything is quite slower. Probably the heat is affecting them, because the Japanese team, I think they'll have a good talk in the second half. On some of the weaknesses they've done in the first half. One of the things that I've seen is the fast play. They've been dropping a lot of balls from second phase, third phase. There's no continuity and no going forward. But second thing is the recycle of the ball. They seems to be very slow in recycle the ball, giving the Canadian forward back to reorganize quick and rush up to the defense and making those tackles and creating turnovers. Now, if the Japan teams can be constructive and make sure they hit those rucks and try to recycle the ball very quick, try to get out from those Canadian big forward back and try to play out wide.
But they've shown some promises as well, particularly when they've quickened play quite a bit in terms of recycling, as well as their rolling maul. They've had some promise there, Alifredi.
Yeah, they're very good in rolling maul. They're going forward, but no, it seems like continuing from the loose possession of the Canadian team with collapsing the maul down.
And handling mistakes as well, letting them down this afternoon.
Yes, they've lost a lot of possession.
It's a nice clear and kick there from the Canadians, who are currently leading 31 points to 3. And if you've just joined us, we welcome you wherever you're joining us here in Fiji, in the Pacific, and right around the world. We'll welcome you to the opening match of the World Rugby Pacific Challenge here in Suva, Fiji. And the Canadians are currently leading Junior Japan 31-3.
Both teams look like they've been playing in the Canadian team pace, Canadian team have been dictating every facet of the game.
The Canadians, of course, have had a very strong first half. They've really spread the ball out wide, and that that has led to 4 of their tries already in the first half.
Yes, the forwards have been standing out wide. They just receive and pass, receive and pass. Very simple. Now the same Japanese number 4 lost another ball.
You've been keeping your eye out on
Takayasu
to Suji.
He lost about 5 balls already.
So probably just wilting under the Suva heat here to Suji.
Probably is not concentrating.
Here we see it again.
Here we go.
Kosuge Horikoshi, the captain of the junior Japanese, that's thrown into the line-out. Still scrappy at the start of the second half.
Yeah, especially from Milena, was a Japanese throw. Good take by the Canadian lock, but it didn't seem to be lost the ball forward.
Yeah. Even Evan Olmsted.
There's a lot of scrum in this game.
Yes, there is. Yonemura is going to feed into this scrum. Clears it out quickly for Ryuji Noguchi. Left it behind Higashikawa. It's come back on the Canadian side and they've done a chip kick ahead.
Well recovered by the Japanese number 10.
Noguchi, and he set it up nicely for his teammates. Referee just reminding them to use it. Oh, nice passes there from the Japanese, but unfortunately they've gone into touch.
They want to go on the short side, but no. Why they never spin the ball on the open side? It's a lot of numbers there.
Hirofumi Higashikawa was taken into touch. Good defense there from the Canadians. That's come back on the Japanese side.
Good recover from the Japanese number 7. Now the kick for territory. Knocked forward by the Canadian number 14. Good play by the Japanese.
Jordan Wilson Ross. So for a lot of these players, it's a chance to put their hands up for World Cup selection later on this year, and it's interesting to note as well that all the 6 teams that are participating here at the World Rugby Pacific Challenge will be participating at the Rugby World Cup in England later this year.
Yeah, this is the first stage. The second stage is the Pacific Nation Cup, so they'll be held in June. So now that all the national teams will be taking part.
Oh, much better promise from the Japanese this time if they can hang on to it.
Holding back. So Japanese have penalty here. So what they're going to do now? Kick for goal or kick for touch?
And so there was much better play there from the Japanese as they spread it out.
He held the player early before he received the ball. It's another rolling ball.
Clairvoyant now, are we?
Yeah.
Maestro taken in there from Takayasu Tutsuji.
Now they're moving forward.
All right, through the middle. Is it going to be the first try for the Japanese?
Very good try.
Oh, finally they're on the board with the try.
They keep that platform from that mall. They're going forward. You know, the ball was at the back, and that guy just picked it up and just ran straight to the line.
As we see that again, they've been trying that in the first half. It hasn't worked according to plan, but finally in the second half it has. And look at the show of strength to get himself over that line. Momentum certainly on his side.
We can see the driving ball. The Japanese players were very low. No, the Canadian are very big and they're just standing up. So that's why they are driving backwards.
So Go Maeda with the try for Japan A and takes the points up to 8. And we'll just wait for Noguchi to see if he can add the extras. He does. And it's 31-10.
Japanese team are firing up the second half.
So a much better start from the Japanese in the second half, and that will certainly give them a lot of confidence going forward.
Yes, they are settling well, so they are starting off well.
Kieran Hearn. The Japanese certainly playing with a lot more confidence now.
Now they are playing wide now.
The coach Ruji Nakatake would certainly have advised them on what they need to do here in the second half, and they're certainly doing that well. Working very hard this afternoon. Yonemura, there he is, he's the link man.
They're hitting those lines at pace, running into space.
Noguchi, Yonemura again, flings it out this way. That's Kosuke Urabe.
Now they retain possession.
A lot more control from the
Yes.
Japanese in the second half. Oh, just unfortunate. He passed forward instead of sideways, and that was the impact of the tackles coming in from the Canadians.
Good defense by the Canadian. I think they've studied the Canadian team in the first half. Now they're trying to utilize some of their weaknesses.
So Hiroto Kato passed it forward in the impact of that oncoming tackle from the Canadians, and he spilled the ball forward instead of passing it sideways. This is another water break for the players, as we've been saying that it's very hot conditions here in the capital city, Suva, very hot and humid, about 25 degrees. And I'm sure for most of these players, particularly from Canada as well as in Japan where it's pretty cold, they will be finding conditions here in Suva pretty difficult to handle.
Very humid out there.
So trying to stay hydrated, players from both sides.
Come on, let's go.
Crouch. Bind. Set.
Well, it's good to see that World Rugby has invested around 16 million. That's a nice kick up ahead that's meant for Kieran, but it's gone into touch. It's beat everybody into touch, but it was a good option.
Good scrum by the Canadian. Can see all those forward back, no? It's a repress all together.
3 wide off.
They're all working hard in the scrums.
And there's McCrory with that chip kick ahead, and chasing after it was Wilson Ross and Kieran Hearn, but it went into touch. But this is a great opportunity here for Canada as well.
A full line out by the Japanese team, close to their line.
Kosuke Horikoshi throws into that line out, well secured by the Japanese, but they're under pressure.
Seems the Japanese team lost that ball.
Yes, they have, and it's going to be an easy try for the Canadians. That's Evan Olmsted with the 5th try for the Canadians in this match.
It's a good take by the Japanese lock, but they lost that ball in the ball that can turn over to the Canadian and end up into points.
So great pressure again there from the Canadians, and they got back position, and there's Olmsted, ripped it away and went over for that try. Easy one. 5th try here for the Canadians, takes them ahead to 36 points to 10.
Japanese team should look after that ball. There's a few Canadian tries have been created by turnovers, just from the Japanese mistake.
And there's the man with the 100% strike rate. Can he continue that run? Yes, he does. McCrory adds the extras. It's 38 points to 10 in favor of Canada A.
Should secure that ball from the line out. Get it to the first five and get it out for touch from a dangerous zone.
Yuma Fujino, replacement front rower coming in for the Japanese. And he's replaced Tatsuya Kaimoto. Wilson Ross. They decided to run it. Kieran Hearn spins and continues. Did well, laid it back nicely for McCrory.
They're very confident running that ball from the try line.
Kicked it up high. That's Liam Underwood. Well taken in there from Seiya Ozaki. Oh, unfortunate again that time.
Bit of scrappy play.
8 wide sub.
I haven't seen 10 phases or 6 phases of just start, stop, start, stop. There's only 3 phases. So we need to see phases like what they did in the Super 15, just skip the ball, recycle, recycle, and try to create overlaps or to score tries.
Well, I'm sure it's tournaments like this that will help, most of these players who play on the local scene in their home countries. This was really a tournament that will help them, bring them up to speed. Because that's really what the tournament was set up to do, and that is to bridge the gap between domestic and international rugby. So this is a great exposure as well for players in competing in this tournament. There's the try scorer from the first half, Connor Trainer. Remember, he had that individual try, but his pass intercepted that time from Hirofumi Higashikawa as the Japanese continue with the momentum.
Good recycle by the Japanese team. Oh, they lost the ball forward.
So I'm sure the weather conditions here in Suva also contributing to what has been a difficult situation for players in both sides to handle. Left behind, Hearn tries to clear it for the Canadians. Moonlight. There's Moonlight again in the inside pass, and that's going to be their 6th try and 2nd for John Moonlight.
Another good try by the Canadians. They work hard on the breakdown, hitting the deck, offloading the pass to the second player coming in.
And that's the 2nd time that Phil McKenzie and, of course, John Moonlight have worked together. And John Moonlight crashes over for his 2nd try. At the end of some great work from Phil McKenzie, who really set it up for him. There it was. And an easy one for John Moonlight. That's the 6th try, the Canadians. And they go ahead now to 43 points to 10.
Japanese team should work hard on their one-on-one defense. They seem to be slipping over, allowing the Canadian players to offload to the second runner.
And remember, this guy hasn't missed a kick at all throughout this match, so this will be a pretty difficult angle. Let's see if McCrory can maintain his 100% record. Oh, so it's the first one he's missed. So McCrory missing a rare one, but it's still Canada A that's leading Junior Japan 43 points to 10.
5 red sub. 5 red.
Japan won't give up until the last whistle. They'll keep on fighting.
And that's words from Alifereti Modilutu, former Flying Fijian, who's also spent a stint playing club rugby in Japan.
Oh, 4, sorry, 4. 4. Five red. Five red.
It looks like it's raining out there again.
Yep, and it's been the story all afternoon. The weather's been changing quite dramatically here at in Suva, especially with the hurricane looming. Hurricane Pam, Cyclone Pam it is, and it is expected to hit the Fiji group later on in the week, but it's, you know, we're just keeping our fingers crossed that that will not happen.
Use it white.
But conditions have changed. It was shining earlier on this morning, and then the rain came down. It went back to very sunny conditions, and now the rain has started to pour again here at the ANZ Stadium.
No, come away.
Safe under that Hirofumi Higashikawa. And I'm sure most of the players will welcome the rain at this stage after all the heat and humidity earlier on. There's the captain Kosuke Horikoshi.
Rain will give them more energy again. Now the Japanese team are going forward with the ball. They're breaking the advantage line.
That's Horikoshi.
White offside.
Offside.